Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Hanachirasu. So, yeah, let's just go to the episode. Let's not waste any more time because I'm mad today as hell. And yeah, if I'm mad, then what's the better choice of play than Hanachirasu, huh? Because I guess it's badass and maybe it can detox some of my like bad attitude and mood today. Also, something weird happened to my microphone today as well. So this whole day is like horrible. So great. So leave up a like, that I will like appreciate it. That will make my day better. Yeah, and let's go. I hope my microphone is fine because something weird happened. I hope it's recording fine. Actually, you know what? You know what? I don't want to risk. I will. Yeah, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so it looks like it's fine. So we should be ready to go. So let's just do it. Let's go. And yeah. Also, I'm kind of happy right now. You may like discover it that I somehow managed to get a bit better in that like short break, and that's because I got someone new on the channel that like is new to Muramasa, and I can like talk in spoiler tags by my own, finally. Oh. Nice. Anyway, let's go. A sharp crack echoed through the hall, signaling to an end to the duel. This is the backstory. It was the sound of the wooden sword colliding with tremendous force, only for one to shatter before the superior strength and skill behind the other. The broken sword was wielded by Takeda Akane. The victorious sword was wielded by Igarasu Yoshiya. The beams of rafters shook with the exultant cheers of the gathered disciples. Oh! Instructor! Oh! So Igarasu is older, he's like superior to him, he's not like... I mean, he can be his friend as well at the same time, but he's actually an instructor. It's his teacher. Oh, okay.
Akane.
You can see the broken sword actually here. I just realized. This is cool.
紙一重だったさ。いや、そんな差もあったのかな。運だけで勝ちを拾ったという気がする。
Igarasu actually looks good on this one.
まさか師範代の実力です。
お前が勝っていても何の不思議もなかった。本当にそう思う。
やだな、師範代。ひどいですよ。そんなこと言われると未練が湧くじゃないですか。
すまん。
冗談です。俺は嬉しいんですよ。
ん？
あなたはやっぱり俺より強かった。まだ俺の目標でいてくれる。俺はまだ
Nice.
あなたの背中を追える。
Okay. So he looked up to him.
Akane。
師範代。ああ、いえ。
Wow.
これからは先生ですね。
Okay.
堅苦しいな。お前にそんな呼ばれ方はしたくない。
By the way, I never actually looked at that, but maybe some of you can like let me know. What's the difference between Shisho and Sensei? Like, because I would translate this like a master in like Kendo as Shisho, I would say, in Japanese. Not Sensei. Sensei is like teacher in school, I guess. I guess this is kind of school, like dojo, but I think like Shisho would work more, better. I don't know, let me know in the comments, what do you think? I never actually looked up, like, what's the difference here?
ダメですよ。示しってもんはつかないでしょ。嫌って言ってもこれからはそう呼びますから。
うん。
師範先生、これからもよろしくお願いします。
Nice, okay.
あ、一緒にやっていこ
う。And then something happened and they all, like, everything went crazy. They clasped hands firmly, firmly, and thus it was decided that Igarasu Yoshiya would wed Hano Misuzu, the last living member of the Karunoryu founding family, and inherit the name of school. name and school. In truth, however, that mattered little of those present. Either would have won, and the cheers would have been just as uproarious. With these two pillars supporting the dojo, bound by friendship and mutual respect, the Karu no Ryu were certain to rise to greater heights than ever before. The furiously applauding disciples were as certain of this as they were that the sun would rise in the morning, for they had no reason to doubt. If only Akana had not brought his broken sword home with him after the match, that bright, glittering future would surely have become a reality. Oh, okay. It was not suspicion that drove him to do so, but merely the desire to keep the weapon of memory of their duel. It was to be his greatest treasure, a symbol of this glorious moment, when he and the elder disciple, whom he most revered, the friend whom he most adored, pit every fiber of their being against each other in the contest whose like would never be seen again. However, that night, when he gazed upon the sword once more, Akana realized that something was wrong. Oh, did they cheat him? Oh, someone tampered with Akana's sword before duel. Oh my god. Okay, I see. And he probably blamed Nigarasu for this. Isn't it?
みすず様、どういうことですか?
Okay, this is the scene before he killed her, I guess.
我々が試合で使った木刀は
Yeah.
あなたが用意したものです。最高の品々の中から厳しく吟味して選んだ二振り。そうなのでしょ?
So she basically wanted to be with Igarasu. Wow, she chose the sword, so she basically chose the winner. Oh. Speaking of betrayal, holy crap.
ひび割れの入った不良品など選ぶわけがないし、ましてや飲みを打って恋にひびを入れておくなんてことがあるはずもない。
Misuzu looked at the house of the sword lying at her feet. In the area around the split were tiny flows that could not have been caused by any natural phenomenon, as well as minuscule flakes of shaved metal. But why?
みすず様、お願いです。
What
教えてください。
What was the name of the bandit leader from Muramasa? I have a feeling like, was her name Misuzu as well? I don't remember. If you played Muramasa, you can let me know. I think it sounds familiar. I think it was her name. I never remember her name. I'm sorry.
これはどういうことなのですか?
Akane's thoughts were in the indecipherable jumble of emotions. Oh my god, the words. But even as he begged for an answer, he in fact had no desire for the truth. He wanted only denial. Yeah, he just wanted to acknowledge the duel as the true and having a meaning, but holy shit. An explanation would have done. She would have claimed that acid rain was causing trees to crack in strange, unnatural ways, or even that some heretophore, the undiscovered chemical reaction, had changed wood to metal, and Akana would have believed every word. To keep his words from crumbling away like dust, he would gladly have abandoned reason, logic, and even instincts to cling to whatever truth she felt. So she should have denied it. She should have remained shameless at the end. And yet... God damn it! I see, okay, so that's the betrayal he feels. Well, he killed you, so it's not like he forgave you. Yeah, I love Igarasu, huh? You. Yeah, that's why. That's why you... That's why you... The 5-tower duel. Yep. Yep. Okay. I kinda hold. Hold until his throat cracked and his mouth filled with blood. And then, still screaming though his voice had given out, he drew the newly forged Itsurin Mitsuaki from his belt. Itsurin Mitsuaki? Oh! That's the name of the sword, Mitsuaki. Is it like the name of his sword that he have like right now? The Wind? Kaze? Is it Kaze Mitsuaki? Raised the gleaming virgin blade high above his head and cut Misu down with a single stroke. Wow, first kill with the new sword was her. Okay, so everything because of the fight duel. I don't know what to think about this. I know like the duels and honor and everything is like at most important in like this game and in Muramasa. But yeah, it's still... Don't you think it's kinda... too harsh? Like execute just for that? I mean... She just wanted to like be with one she loves, but the duel was said that whoever would win would like marry her. I don't know. I feel conflicted. I kinda understand from what perspective Akana's going, but also I'm not agreeing with this, but you know, it's like different times and like mindset, I guess. But you can let me know in the comments what you think about the situation. Maybe you have some different perspective about this whole situation. The vial meshed with his screams, and from the corridor came the sound of panicked footsteps. The screen door was thrown open wide and then... Yep, there's Igarasu. I can remember Igarasu attacking him with the wrath of a storm, remembers. Resting the merciless assault with every ounce of strength left in him. It was a wonder that he was able to fight Igarasu off in this near incoherent state. But now he knows the reason. He achieved Muga! Or Muso. One of these! He simply could not die. He thought that they had given in it their all, that their strength and skill alone had decided their duel, but it had all been a farce. He could not die until he had taken back what was stolen. Yeah, so that's why he wants a duel with Igarasu once more. To death. This Igarasu, half mad with rage, wild swings filled with terrible power but no trace of skill, was not Akane's opponent. How then could Akane fall? Akane withered Igarasu's initial assault, even taking a wand from yet incomplete Hirunotsuki, and somehow managed to get in a counter-strike of his own. Oh, okay. Igarasu. So Hirunotsuki is the technique that Igarasu is supposed to complete. And he actually managed to complete it, as far as we saw. Igarasu would have not fought on despite the injury, but just then, the entire building shook as if tossed into the building, overturning the lanterns and setting the wooden room ablaze. Later, Akane would learn that this was the onset of the Great Northern Earthquake, which would reach a 7 on the Richter scale and claim over 100,000 lives. I will kill you, Akane, if I have to hand you to the ends of the earth. Igarasu roar of grief and hate, heard through the fire and smoke and falling debris, was music to Akane's ears. He remembers every word. It was an oath, a sacred covenant. It alone supported Akane, keeping him alive until the day when Igarasu, strengthened by fury, would appear before him once more. He had nothing else. Nothing. He recalls that nameless, self-assault irritating man. That man who reminded him a little of his father. Also, this bright red is painful for my eyes. By the way, this is not the best choice of color for text. Come to think of it, everything he said was absolutely right.
多分あんたはどうでもいいんだ。
Yeah, pretty much. That's the memory of like attack on Hakodama no Kai.
何が？
あんたは自分のことなんかどうでもいいんじゃないかな。
おい、筋が通ってねえぞ。
まあ、
自分のことしか考えないで生きてるくせに、自分のことはどうでもいいって、そりゃどんなやつだ。
I mean, basically you don't care if you live or die. You just want the duel with Igarasu once more. And if you die, well, you die. If you survive, then you survive. And that's the whole deal here.
わけがわからないな。
わけわかんねえよ。
だが、的外れか？
Yeah.
鉄頭鉄尾自己中心的なくせに自分の命運に興味がない。
なんだよ。
こう聞くのも変な話だが、あんたもう自分なんてないのか？
You exist anymore. Okay. Philosophical questions. I see.
自分なんてものはとうになくしていて、ただなんか一つの意志だけが残っている。
Yeah, pretty much.
その意志だけで自分を保って。
Yeah, that's my question. Like, if Akane wins against Igarasu, what will be his purpose in life? Like, this is his only driving force right now.
他人を顧みないから、傍目には自己中心的に見えるが、その自己は極めて限定的で、実は自分さえ顧みていない。
お前さ、英士なんかやめてカウンセラーでもやった方がいいかもよ。
定年退職したら考えよう。しかしそう考えれば筋は通るが、だとすると精神疾患だな。人格の荒廃状態だ。
Schizophrenia, huh?
精神科医でもいけそうだな。
そいつは難しい。今のは
んだよ。
それは俺の言ったことが当たってるって意味か？ならあんたの意志は何だ？ただ一つの意志は何なんだ？
His one purpose. Indeed, that is all that is left. The rest of him, the vast array of pieces that made up the swordsman Takeda Akane, was stripped away in one fell swoop by Kano Misuzu's confession. Benevolence, righteousness, courtesy, wisdom, loyalty, faith, honor, brotherhood. They are no more. He has lost it all, and yet, everything that truly matters remains. He still has his sword in his belt, a body to wield it, and a sacred purpose to drive them both. To settle a score with Igarasu Yoshia. Yep. That has become the whole of Takeda Akane. So... basically... Igarasu have no idea what happened, that the swords were tampered with. Basically, yeah. Only Akane knows about this. Igarasu have no idea. I wonder how Igarasu would react. Huh. Probably still the same. Because he also loved Misuzu, probably. So that's more like revenge for her death. It's like nothing else matters for him. Even if he would knew the truth, that would be still the revenge for death of his love. If he would knew about the swords, then that would change nothing, I think. No, in retrospect, it was always what Akane and his swords were meant to be. The events that transpired 4 years ago are not to be mourned, not to be regretted. That night, a dual blade was polished into fine steel. The excess fat stripped away, the revelant, the truth from beneath. Akane was born into this world for one reason, to do battle with Igarasu Yoshia. Okay. Music change. Whoa. That's kind of ominous. Akane looks into the old man's eyes, burning with hate. Answer for your sins, they seems to say. Akane considers his actions. He slaughtered the members of Hokodama no Kai. He betrayed the Takigawa Corporation and engineered the death of the woman who loved him. Heinous crimes all. Akane has no excuse, no words with which to defend himself against Yasaka's accusation. Yeah, because he still have a gun. But then, he has no use for such things. He is a sword, his body and soul given to a blade. Will a sword placed on the witness stand to answer for the lives it has taken? Response to the prosecutor questions. What say you, Yasaka? Whoa, okay. Ha! Akane laughs with contempt at the grizzled warrior, the loyal servant. Do you see me laughing, Yasaka? Ah, how righteous you are. Indeed, I am a sinner, and yours is the hammer of justice. If I cared about the righteousness of my actions, then I might have considered your position, even submitted myself to your fair judgment. Too bad for you that I do not. He's the hammer of justice, eh? What if we make some Photoshop with Yasaka and and Ichijo? What if we swap faces? Is it cursed? Probably. Maybe I will do it. Who knows? Perhaps a better man would argue that he must keep fighting to honor these he has killed, so that their deaths will not be in vain. But I haven't even a glance to spare for the corpses piled beneath my feet. Also, if I do this like weird like face swap, then I will post this on Discord. So if you are not on Discord, you can join to see this cursed image. If that will actually happen. I will face Igarasu, nothing else matters. The lives I have destroyed in my quest to reach him meant as little to me as pebbles on the roadside. Hear me, Asaka, most faithful of warriors. I tell you what has me so amused. We are shouting at the falling meteor to get out of the way before it hurts itself. And thus, you get out of my way, Yasaka. I will face Igarasu. And thus, a soul rules by absolute selfishness, blind to all but its own desire, transcends reason to accomplish the impossible. Okay, what have you done? It's the technique. See, I said that he will do it. In what, like, previous episode. Oh, he cut his arm. He cut his arm! Oh my god, I predicted this in previous episode. I said that his sword is lighter, and that will can like help him to achieve the technique he tried to make, to complete his technique, the like double slash from like go down and then up. And I said like he probably can like cut his arm off with this. Oh my god, I predicted. Holy shit. Okay, that was cool. Rip Yasaka though. That's sad. When he comes to, Akane is standing alone in the sunset. Looking down, he sees Yasaka's corpse lying at his feet, long dead from the blood loss caused by the severing of his remaining arm. What just happened? Even Akane cannot say for sure. But the sensation lingering in his arms and legs, his sword rising to challenge the heavens. Yep. And the unnatural position of his hands upon the hilt. Herald of the birth of Maken. Ooh, it's going to be Maken versus Maken. Oh. Akane finally has his own. Oh my god. Okay, we're back to hospital. I was already fallen by the time Akane reaches the hospital. Is Igarasu waiting in like her room? It seems busier than usual. He was hoping to get some treatment for his wounds, but the night receptionist station is empty, and the halls are filled with security personnel. Here and there, he sees nurses in their white gowns. A familiar one runs up to him, shouting something that he cannot make out over a din. It is only when they are face to face that he finally understands what she's saying. Okay, so he's not like in the hospital, he actually like kidnapped her. Okay, she's going to die. She needs like help and like stay in hospital all the time, so she will probably not survive this like violent trip. City of Lost Souls. Oh, great! Once again, I did it again. I finished the previous episode just before we had the finish of the next one. Good job, me. Maybe I should like record 2 episodes ahead and then like stitch them together or something. I don't know. How long is this game? It was supposed to be short, but I feel like I'm reading this forever. When Itsurin gets out of a long hot bath, Akane's already gone. She asked him to stay, but now she realized that she was just unwilling. She was just unwilling to let him go. If he had stayed, what more could she have said? What more could he have said? Only one thing remained unspoken between them. Perhaps that was the very reason he left. Such kindness would indeed be like him. Not that I indeed needed it. I think I can handle a few goodbyes by now. While dressing, Itsurin walks to the open window and gazes out over to the night city. She attempts a smile, though with little hope of success. She knows that this was their final parting. Oh. She expects him to die, actually? So she expects Igarasu to win the fight? She knows that they go to their last battle. She always knew how this would end, from the moment she first saw them in the courtyard of that old country dojo. When they stood together, the other youth shining in her right eye and the crimson boy glittering in her left, their fate was revealed to her in every detail. Ah, the twin swords. They are the Nemesis blades. Ooh. Forged from the same steel, yet designed to destroy each other. They cannot but fight, for that is the purpose of their existence. To deny it would be to deny all that they are. Nemesis Road?
ご利用をお待ちしております。
残念だが、
は？
もう二度と来ないだろう。いや、ここの待遇には何の不満もなかったけれど。
Okay. She exits the hotel and starts down the road that will take her out of the city beyond the wall, never to return. She will not stay to see their battle through. That was never the point of her journey. All she desired was to lay eyes upon them once more before they faced each other, to burn their living memory into her soul. She had no hope, no way of knowing that she would find them here, and yet the heavens saw fit to bring them together. They are swords. She's a small swordsmith. Swords once shattered can never be reforged, but if their memory is still alive in her heart, she can perhaps forge new blades, similar blades. Blades that next time she hopes will not bear the same doom as their forebears. Itsune walks into sunset, clutching their images tightly to her bosom. She will not stay to see their battle through. She already knows what the outcome will be, not by any premonition or power of prophecy, but by their own craftsman's eye. She's a swordsmith after all, so she judged by the quality of the blade, I guess. And they are but swords. I have flashbacks from Muramasa right now. She called them swords, and stuff. It's like Ichijo call herself a katana, which makes sense in more than one way actually. Who watched Muramasa don't know what I mean, but yeah, that's like just little funny job. What was it that decided their battle? Most likely, it was not the strength or techniques, nor was it the hand of fate. Perhaps it was the difference between a man who wielded the sword for vengeance, despite the win, no matter the cost, and a man who wielded the sword for love of the sword, believing victory or defeat merely incidental, the trivial result of the battle fought of its own sake. Yeah, she kind of sees them like as tools, I guess. I mean, not exactly. It's hard to... She cares about them. But it's hard to describe. It's very... I don't know. I feel like it's complicated behavior and like complicated feelings towards them here. She doesn't want them to fight. She loves them as she loves swords, I guess. Perhaps that's what that was all that separated them. Yeah, two different spectrums. And so the mad blacksmith, Fujiwara Itsuru Mitsuaki, passes out Tokyo and out of this tale. Aww. Her path will never again cross with that of Igarasu Yoshiya or Takada Akane, for where they are going, she cannot follow. Tower of Wind. Okay. Yo! We are going to actually have the duel? Oh, it's the guy! You know what? I kind of want to make this like separate episode and do like an extra episode during the week, you know? I have a feeling like this scene deserves separate episode, so I will save it here. I will probably record the next one to see how it goes, and maybe I will stitch it to this one, so it might not be the end. I wonder if he would like to fight the winner. What's like his like internal motive? Mm-hmm. Igarazu rises slowly from his perch at the edge of the ruined tower at the topmost floor. Though the structure has long since ceased to serve its original function, the collapsed walls and ceiling do allow a refreshing breeze to caress his skin. Above is the moon, shining brilliantly in a cloudless sky. Beside him is a woman, bound standing to a pillar with thick ropes. And before him stands his man, wearing an expression of confusion, like a jester mask. After a brief glance to compare the three, he decides that the last does the most to spoil this atmosphere. Watari Shirobe, yeah, like, what's your deal, man? You are very shady. Igarasu cannot help but wonder, with no small degree of disdain, just how highly this man thinks of himself. Yeah, he thinks basically that he can handle either Igarasu or Akane. He's like, yeah, whoever will win, I will win anyway, like, I'm the strongest one here. I wonder, like, why he's so interested in them. Like, from the backstory, it seems like he's not involved at all in the backstory, but maybe there is something on the backs. Huh. Oh shit, wait, Igarasu opened his eyes. Okay, now he's even weirder than before. I will not... I cannot get over this, over Sprite Igarasu. I just cannot.
都合
俺と茜が死ねば一連の事件の当事者は全て消え失せる。
何の話でしょうか？別に五十嵐さんが何人いても私の人生レイルロードには何の事故も起きやしないと思うんですけど。
Sure.
そうかもな。
はあ？
あるいは本当にお前にはどうでもいいことなのかもしれん。だが偉大なる石間海原の後継者殿。
Oh, so he's like from the family of Ishima Kaigen then, huh? So he's like the main guy that wants to make the free Tokyo basically. Or at least he's like the successor. It's not necessary, he's not necessarily have the same mindset, but still.
後始末はきれいにやれとでも言われ。
Watareli finally falls silent. That does little to make him less irritating, but Igarasu nevertheless takes this opportunity to turn his thoughts elsewhere. The deep, dark sky, the bracing cold air, the shivering silver moon. No one thing is undeserving of price. Igarasu has always enjoyed such nights. It is as though the scenery has been carved from ice. Even the woman tied to the pillar seems strangely fitting. The glowing of her skin and hospital gown melding with rather than opposing the darkness.
矛止めの貝を操り滝川を制し国際自由都市宣言を発して東京を事実上の独立国家とする。
Okay, makes sense. Though Garasu is facing the woman, Akane's sister, Takeda Sho, as he speaks, his thoughts are not directed at her in particular. Either way, she shows no sign that she has hurt him. This is not surprising. She was unconscious when he found her in the hospital and remained so through her kidnapping. At first, he thought she was merely asleep, but now he realized that she must have been in coma very near. Oh, okay. God damn it, and he still kidnapped her anyway. Ah, I mean, the power of lost love, huh? Is driven by hatred and revenge. So he don't care about the, like, her being in coma or anything.
堂々たる宗教ではなく隠密を使っての陰謀によって遂げる理想。石間海原が知れば何というかな。あの人物が旨としたのは行動の純粋性であって間違っても。
His voice echoes well in the silence, but still eclipses no response. Once after arriving here, the woman appeared to regain consciousness. It was only for a brief moment, but she looked straight at him. Through her visor, it was impossible to be sure of that, and tried to speak. He cannot say whether she was asking him a question or simply muttering in delirium. No voice passed her lips, but he was able to read the motion of her mouth. Meaning, she seems to say. Perhaps he was mistaken. If that truly was what she said, then it's ironic then, that it was truly meaningless. Severe physical illness can affect the mind, even in the extreme cases, severing the victim connection to reality. Igarasu has no way of knowing exactly what ails her, but her condition is clearly dire. Yeah, pretty much. And you still, like, put her, like, kidnapped and, like, in standing position in, like, pillar, tied up? What the fuck? This is so terrible. After all, her skill already bears an unmistakable pallor of death. Oh. Is she going to die before Akane gets here? He feels the urge to release her from her bonds and let her lie down, but crushes it before it can fully take root. Release her? For what? She's Akane's sister, a hostage, certainly not someone whom he must save. Yeah, no, she's more than that. She's a blade, a weapon of vengeance, no different than the 73cm Itsuri Mitsuaki at his hip. Oh, so his sword is named Itsuri Mitsuaki. Sorry, I was wrong in the previous episode. Yeah, I made a mistake. I thought like it's Akane's sword, like Mitsuaki Kaze, something like that. Yeah, okay. Even as the thoughts run through his head, it feels like they belong to a different person, as though he had woken up one morning and find someone else face staring back at him from the mirror. The woman is indeed Akane's relative, the flesh and blood of the most hated enemy, but she's not Akane himself. Can I really do it? He asked himself, but even this question sounds like a scratchy tape recording playing back in his head. At the same time, he can feel something dark and hot lurking beneath his doubt. It has grown in the recesses of his soul, forged painstakingly in the flames of hate, and now lies waiting like a dormant volcano. The time will surely come when it awakens of its own accord, bursting forth in a stream of pure, single-minded force that will sweep aside everything in its path. Yeah. Probably will happen when Akane shows up. We remember when they met first time in this game, in the tunnel? Ooh, that was furious. Let do an action be one. Praise the warriors of the Hokuto no Kai. That this will be nothing so praiseworthy. Igarasu actions will be driven not by lofty ideals or even human conceits, but the basest, blackest passions of his heart. What are Rifali's arendas? As though his unnaturally long pause was not answer enough. Yeah, pretty much. He averts his eyes, rubbing his jaw as he continues in the contemplative tone.
貴様が新宿の密偵であることくらい怪盗や幹部らは皆気づいていたさ。目的が同じなら見逃していただけだろう。自覚がないのかもしれんが、貴様に役者の才能は乏しいぞ。
Okay. Igarasu catches a barely perceptible shift in Wataru's expression. He knows that this man is not as in control of himself as he would like people to think. His aura of aloof composure is a merely facade born of the inflated sense of pride, quick to crumble when that pride is threatened. Okay, so he's just like a... Because he's the successor of the Ishima, he feels and thinks very highly of himself, I guess. And that's his weakness, basically. None of which, of course, is the reason to hold back.
され、小作師。俺と茜の邪魔をするな。
His voice is hard. Each word empathized to make their meaning. Both spoken and unspoken. Abundantly clear. The spy neither accepts nor rejects the command at first. But the 3 steps he takes away from Igarasu suggest that he's understood their intent. I have a feeling like...
され、小作師。俺と茜の邪魔をするな。
Yeah. This tone of voice, I think it's the first time when I actually got interested in tone of voice of Igarasu. Like, the way he speaks here, I have a feeling like I heard this somewhere in like some kind of anime. Did he voice some anime? I have a feeling like I heard this somewhere or something similar. It's more deep than his normal usual voice. While speaking, he taps his feet rapidly against the floor. This is more annoying than his usual mocking tone of speech, which is doubtless why he does it. Igarasu pays no mind, however. Why should something so small bother him, when the man's very existence is meaningless in his eyes?
万一に備えて手は打っておきましたしね。武田を仕留めたらすぐに東京を出た方がいいですよ。でないとせっかく仇討ちを果たしても甲斐の残党か滝川の社長派に捕まってすぐあの世行きってな羽目になっちゃいますからね。
それが貴様の最後の策か。
滝川さんには社長暗殺犯の写真を名前入りでお送りしただけ。
Wow, okay.
甲斐の連中についてはちょっと嘘をつかせていただきました。
Okay, what did you tell them?
本部に滝川兵を引き込んだの。
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
なるほどな。俺ではなく、茜が生き残ったら。
彼はとっくに甲斐の天中リストのトップですよ。 これまでは滝川も警戒して手出し
Oh, okay. Oh, that's simple. That's simple.
今は滝川も彼を狙ってるんですよ。そんなわけで、あなた方はそういう人たちに狙われているわけでして、どちらも崩壊したとはいえ、人間の一人や二人草の根分けても探し出して叩き殺せる程度の戦力は残しています。
So I guess they will both die at the end, no matter what. That's how the story will end.
本当は今すぐにでも逃げ出した方がいいんですが。
Watari long-winded speech throws off. It's hard to tell though his squinty eyes, but he appears to be gouging Igarasu's reaction. Igazu feels the oldest man's gaze upon his face, cold and wet like a serpent's tongue. He matches Watari's stare, but remains silent. What is there to say? No matter how fast Kigawa and the Kodomonokai move, they will not find this place before Akana does. As long as Akana arrives, nothing else matters. Watari words therefore are utterly meaningless. A fact which is clearly lost on the man.
もっとも
Yo!
公式非公式を問わず城壁の門すべてに手が回っていたら逃げおったって逃げられないでしょうけれどもね。
Watari opened his eyes and mouth. Wow. Okay, this guy is scary. Okay, that's terrifying CG actually. Holy shit. Okay. That might be his like the most terrifying expression. His voice is tingled with a twisted sadistic glee, a dog barking happily at the scraps of authority left to it by its masters. Finding it tiresome merely to look at the man any longer, Igarasu lowers his gaze without even sight. Watari snickers at this, no doubt misunderstanding Igarasu's reaction yet again. Yeah. The part of the fool at least comes naturally to him.
だから私が手を汚す必要なんて最初からなかったんですよ。ただ性分で今ここであなたと戦ったとして、その最中に武田が来たりしたら彼も私を邪魔。あなた方二人を一度に相手にしてはさすがにちょっと勝てません。
一人なら勝てると言いたげだな。
そう言っていますよ。私の能力は知っているでしょう。
I mean, you can just jump high. Yeah, sure.
できればあなたを相手に試してみたかったんですが、意味のないリスクは冒せません。これにて失礼することにしましょう。
With a smile to drive home his superiority, the unwanted man at least vanished down the staircase. Though blessed silence does not return to the tower until the exaggerated rhythm of his footsteps fades away.
貴様の能力
Of all that Watari said that night, this is the only word that is stuck in Igarasu's mind. He knows what Watari Shiroba can do. He knows, and yet...
取るに足らず
Yeah. His, like, strength of his legs is probably still too slow for his EI. Igarasu smiles in contempt, for contempt is all that he has to offer. Okay. I'll be waiting at Tokyo Tower. That was all that was written on the note I kinda found at the hospital. Okay. As far as the invitations go, this one was not only so blunt as to be rude, but also hardly meet any criteria to be called such. One expects an invitation to have clear address, with a map and directions attached to, say nothing of the time of the meeting and the name of the host. Well, it's just like, get here as soon as possible. This had none of the above, and yet served its purpose quite well. Tokyo Tower is known to all who dwell in the city, and the handwriting made the sender identity obvious. As for the lack of the specified time, that only could mean that Akane was expected to come immediately upon receiving the message. Thus Akane finds himself standing before a 333-meter tall tower that rises from the center of the Tokyo, its tallest building and a symbol of the old capital. Not a bad place for a date, Akane thinks to himself as he walks past the faded no trespassing sign and enters the ruin. He's surprised that Igarasu would be so thoughtful. Tokyo Tower was built in the post-war reconstruction period as the symbol of Japan's hope for peace and prosperity, as well as of Japan's might. No expense was spared to make it one of the tallest buildings in the world. Although the technology used to build it was cutting edge, its design was based on the propaganda of Kyoto Toji Temple. For many years after its construction, the tower was one of Tokyo Prime's sightseeing locales, attracting tourists. Oh my god, there's so much text! I'm sorry, my eyes just like got into like some weird like state. What the fuck? That's the problem with like older games. I'm not used to like... I read novels like that, but I'm not used to them. Like having wall of text is not really fun, you know? If you have to like read this like out loud and everything. Oh my god. Attracting tourists from all over Japan, that's all changed in 1972, however, when a unit of Imperial Army soldiers, part of a failed attempt to overthrow Ishima regime, barricades themselves at the top of the tower. They all perished in the ensuing battle, and even since the tower has been treated as cursed, though still standing after all decades. Now no one will dare to set a foot on the premises. Sounds like a perfect like duel ground for me. Which is no doubt the very reason Igarashi chose this as the venue to their duel. Maybe I will stick this to the previous episode and this will going to be like one episode actually. Huh. I felt like we will have like instantly the duel, but it's not instantly duel. It's like big preparation. Akane has no objection. He walks through the field of debris of at the tower base. But just as he is about to enter the dark structure, the sound of jaunty footsteps echoing from within brings him to a halt. Oh yeah, the guy is like going down. He does not have to wait long for the owner to appear. Akane raises an eyebrow in surprise. Akane recognizes him, not by his voice or dress, both of which Akane had already forgotten, but by that unmistakable squint. This is the man Akane encountered during the ride of Hokotomo no Kai, who escaped by means of an inhuman leap.
困ったなあ。もう逃げるつもりだったのにどうしよう。どうすれば。
うるせえ、どけよザコ。
Akane lowers his hand in dismissal, having no energy to spare this time for the man's nonsensical ramblings. This turn of events is extremely frustrating. It feels like he has opened the long-awaited gift box, only to find another box inside. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Yep, he was not happy with that. As I said, like, this is like the pride of his is his weakness. Like, he's so easy to be manipulated with his pride. Akane brusque the man. Whoa, we just got the soundtrack of fighting. Akane brusque the man. It seems to have flipped the switch. The man's tone has changed, and for the first time, his slitted eyes open to reveal a piercing hawk-eye glare. I can hear Bei from DS era in his voice. Especially in this scene. Like in this? Not this. Wow, it's so Bei. Wow. Akane is so good.
なんて言ったかって聞いてんだ。
うるさくないけどどいてくださいませんか、かっこいいお兄さんって言ったんですよ。ええ、多分きっと。
Okay.
ザコっつったんだろうが。
Pretty much, yeah.
聞くなよボケ。ああ、いや、ちりめんじゃこのような星空だなって言っただけです。常に新しい表現の道を模索する風流な俺。桜の散る季節には理由もない涙が止まらないんだ。
Or wear those wanted posters. Nice. The man, clearly unconvinced, and in fact seems about ready to tear Akan's throat out of his jaws. Confessing that his fate to resolve this peacefully, Akana prepares himself for the inevitable. It was not his intention to provoke a fight, but it would seem that letting impatience dictate his answers has done that all the same. Thinking back over the exchange, Akana realized that he was in fact going along with the man rather than deflecting his anger, as he would meant to. He was responding naturally, without giving it much thought. So for this to happen, Akana maturity must be on a level with this man's. That would explain it. Okay. What a conversation. From the look of him, the squinty fellow, though no longer so squinty, has long passed the point where anything less than blood could have called it.
俺が雑魚だとお前ごときが言うかこのチビがよただの操り人形だよ
はあ
俺が雑魚なら俺の手の上で踊ってたお前なんだお前は何もかも自分で仕組んだつもりになってたんだろうがよ
はあ
適当吹いてると思ってんのかお前はどうせ死ぬから教えてやるいいか俺は不知事の
Like I care.
いやそんなのいいか
Yeah,
ら
exactly.
別にお前が俺を利用してたっていいからさそんなの知ったこっちゃねえしお前がすごい作望家だって言いたいんならああ認めるから黙れ
Pretty much, yeah. I love this conversation Akana with him.
けどそういうのって人間誰しもお互い様ってやつじゃねえの誰だって人を利用するし
Like, Akana and Igarasu have such a different
なんか重要か
tone and style of like talking to this guy.
ことに満足できたかどうかってそれだけじゃねえのか
This is so good. As the man turns even more purple with rage, Akana recalls the countless people he himself has used to toss aside like so many dish racks. He cares nothing for their hopes and dreams, ground to dust beneath his feet, or the decades of loyalty and labor rendered meaningless by his sword. But if they themselves were satisfied with the lives they lead, then no effort of Akana can deny them that fulfillment. Why am I talking to this guy anyway? Akana asks himself really. This is hardly the time for the idle chat, and yet, like a child, he finds himself doing this unnecessary. This said, the conversation had continued long enough. Akana spreads his legs slightly and gives a distance to his opponent. The man follows suit, responding to Akana's readiness. His lips are twisted in anger. The next moment, however, his expression changed to a cruel, blushing smile.
あ
Okay.
そうだな俺とお前とどっちが雑魚か証明するにはこれが一番
Okay, I guess so.
自信満々じゃねえのカトンボよろしくぴょんぴょこ跳ねる芸があるからか好きにやってろよ俺は痛くも痒くもね
そうかいだがよこいつはちょっとかゆいんじゃねえか
Okay. That's so unfair. Akana will have to fight 2 times. Actually 3 times. He just like got injured in a Yasaka fight. Now he's going to fight this guy. And then he's going to fight Igarasu. Like, we are weakening Akana each time. This is so unfair. So, I guess Akana would win against Igarasu easily. So we need to tire him out to give Igarasu a chance, I guess. An instant after the words left his mouth, the man bent his knees, and lips straight up into the air, soaring in the same inhuman height as before. This alone is hardly enough to surprise Akana, of course. However, Akana stares dumbfounded. As the man ascends, his body rotates head over heels, and at the same time he draws his sword. The rotation, draw, and slash are one. And finally the landing. When his feet touch the ground, his sword has already vanished once more into its sheath. It's over in an instant, but the image burned into Akana's retinas as undeniably that of...
よもや知らないはずはないな昼の月だ
Okay, so he stole the Igarasu movement, I guess. But is it perfect though? Because Igarasu perfected his attack, right? Maybe he's just imitating it. Probably imitating to like... Because he's, you know, he's cunning, he's smart, I guess. So he might just like make this presentation to show Akane this. To make him like scared or something.
俺にはどんな運動
Oh!
を一目見れば構造を理解できるって能力があるんだよ。
I just said that he's just mimicking this. Okay.
一度だけ見たんでな。
Like, this sentence, it kind of reminds me of the anime Katanagatari. I don't know if you've watched this, let me know in the comment. But there's a character that could do practically the same. Like, just by watching this character could become like one of like the strongest warriors and stuff, because everyone was like scared of like teaching this character. And this character just like looked at stuff, at training, and just became like freaking powerful. And it's not the main character, by the way.
なかなか面白い
Not even a villain.
考えたじゃねえか。イガラスも中点からの抜き打ちか。確かにこんなトリッキーな技見切れるやつなんてそういねえだろうよ。いいものもらったもんだ。
Okay.
ああ、なんかずいぶん静かになったな、おい。
He swallows like a snake, gobbling a baby squirrel. But even this loathsome display of cruel joy fails to draw a response from Akane. The sound of his laughter dominates the lonely ruin.
後悔してるか？
Yeah, this will be the one episode with the previous one, I think.
遅えよ。お前は死刑だ。それにもともとお前らはなるたけ俺の手で殺したかったしな。じゃあな、ザコ。あの世で泣いとけ。
Okay. So they're actually going to fight. With that last sound, the man bursts into motion. He charges Akane with the speed of gale, leaving only shreds air to howl in his wake. His feet churn the derbies, like the inside of a blender, throwing up a cloud of dust as he closes the 10 meters to Akane in the blink of an eye. The man's charge equals, even surpasses Igarasu's, his body already moving as fast as the sword slash. His powerful will. How powerful will his strike be? Loosened from such a cannon? Akane is about to find out. This man's right foot explodes against the ground, catapulting his body into the air. At the same time, he begins to rotate in flight. His blade clears sheath, striking towards Akane's with merciless, indomitable fury. Okay, Akane, what's your answer for this? And Akane takes a half step back to evade the strike. Then, with his own EI, swats the man from the sky as he would an offending insect. Oh! Akane, that was badass as hell! Oh! So good! That was so easy. Wow.
なんで？
なんでじゃねえよ。
Akane feels no joy at this victory. There's only the bitter taste of disappointment as he looks down at the dying man at his feet.
お前、昼の月の名の意味を知ってたか？知らなかったんだろうな。
Akane sighs his frustration, giving way to pity.
昼の月はな、
He pauses for the effect.
宙返りと抜刀術を足した技なんかじゃねえ。
Okay.
あれは間合いを狂わせ、奪う技だ。負けんたるゆえんはそこだ。その後はおまけみてえなもんなんだよ。
Yep.
だって、分かれ
Basically, no one outside of Igarasu can do it. Just like I said, like, did you master it? Like, Igarasu mastered it. You can probably just mimic it. So I was right.
だが聞いとけ、サルマネや。お前の剣は変哲のない夜の月だ。イガラスの剣はいつ抜き放たれるとも見えない。人の予測を許さないものだからこそ。
Nice. Nice.
昼の
Akane can no longer hear the man's breathing. Still, he cannot help but deliver one final judgment in parting.
才なく真なく当人をもてあそんだ愚物。 さわしい惨めさで死ね。
Akane spits upon the corpse, then turns and walks into the tower. The sound of muffled sobs at his back is no doubt only the wind whipping through the trees. Okay. Akane has already forgotten the man whose name he never even bothered to ask. Igarasu is here, waiting for him at the top of this tower. He's been walking this path for 4 years. No, from the moment he and Igarasu first met, and now at last he has reached the end of the line. And the end of the line we will see in the next episode. I will actually stitch these two recordings together because it's also about 30 minutes and I think like it fits perfectly. Actually, I didn't expect it to have this kind of encounter to read. So I think this works perfectly to have this before the last ending like episode of Hanachirasu, because I feel like this is going to be actually the last episode like next time. So yeah, probably it's still going to be an extra episode of Hanachirasu this week, because I think like I will try to finish this, but we'll see. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So thanks once again, and for now, Pocket Watch is going out.